Hey folks, how you going? Gorgeous day today, and I thought I'd come out and do an uplift or a clean up of our little hothouse that I got here. Now remember, this months ago I built it. It's an old trolley frame, and I've got a bed head there, and I put a bit of plastic on it. Beautiful mobile hot house, but also this little container, storage container that I've been growing my tomatoes and cucumbers. Now, I've got a heat mat in this to keep them nice and warm so I can get them to germinate really well, and they have. But look how messy it is. Now this is the only problem I had with this little storage container. It works a treat if you've only got half a dozen or a dozen plants you want to grow in it, but when you're going to start growing 40, 50, 60, 100 like I do, 200, it's a little bit awkward like that. So I haven't got any order in here, so I thought today I'm going to try and get a little bit of order in my seedlings, and this is a great way for you to do it too if you want to grow an assortment of plants, quick and easy and effective and really clean. I came across this little mini hothouse. Now I know many of you have probably seen these things before. It's a little hothouse with a plastic lid, but the beautiful thing about this is it comes with a tray, but it comes with an assortment of trays. Do you remember when I said growing seedlings in the tray like this or in punnets? What happens is the roots all get tangled up. So when you go to separate them, you may actually tear a little bit of those roots off, causing the seedling to go backwards before it starts to grow again. Now, what we've got here in this little hothouse is, first, you get a thermostat and a heat mat. This is what I've been using, and I swear by these. If you're going to start growing something in the cooler regions earlier in the season for early crops, you want to get yourself a heat mat to get the soil temperature up. It comes with plug tray, 72 little cells, individual, so you can put a seed in each one. That's 72 plants. How many more do you want than that? Even a home garden. You can get your 10 to 12 tomatoes, cucumbers, capsicums, broccolis, cauliflowers, lettuce if you like. And if that's not enough, get 2 trays of that. But it also comes in the larger forms. This one here I think has got 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 32. But even better, so you don't have to use these cells on their own. You can get them in. Look at this, is crazy. It's a great little setup, this one here. It comes with these little, now these aren't peat pots, they're not made out of peat, because you'll know that peat, when you buy it as a pot like that and it hydrates, it starts to fall apart. This is actually wood pulp or wood fiber, so you can hydrate this and be able to pick it up and carry it around, and it won't fall apart. For those who've actually grown in peat pots, that's what happens to them. They break down. This breaks down as well, so you plant it in the ground, but you put it straight into each cell like that. Fill it up with your organic potting mix or seed raising mix, and then plant your seeds. So let's set it up. Add our soil and try and get something natural, organic. I love using Hal's sea greens. And do this little 72 cell one as well. Now, the beautiful thing about these heat mats is you only need one thermostat. So you can get multiple heat mats, and as long as you've got a power board, they could all plug up to the same one. It does come with a little thermostat on its own, which is basically this little thermometer gauge that sits in here, and it controls the temperature for you, so it'll switch it on and off. It's actually sitting, let me get this probe out, there we are. That's it there. Sit that under the mat, somewhere in between, somewhere where it's pretty consistent across the board, and it'll control the temperature if it gets too hot. Now, the actual kit itself, the hothouse kit, comes with a thermostat and a heat mat. And I've already got a thermostat, so I'm just going to get some more heat mats for this. Stick that there, underneath that one there. I'm just going to poke some holes so I can drop my seed in them. The larger pots here are actually good for your tomatoes. The smaller ones are okay for cucumbers. Well, you know, they're both okay, but obviously these ones have to be transplanted a lot quicker than these ones out. Now what I've got here is John's big Malacca tomatoes. I've got Joe's Italian Malacca tomatoes. Everyone's a Malacca here today. $16 of these, that's plenty. And the other half will be Joe's Italian Malacca tomatoes. That's that one there. That's it. These ones are all seeded. And remember folks, always EcoBoost and Liquid Gold to get them going, because that's what's going to give them the best chance to growing strong and healthy. And another great thing this little unit has, folks, is the tray underneath. That acts like a little self-watering pot, so it holds all the liquid fertilizer you add to it, and as the soil dries out, it wicks back up into the plants and keeps them hydrated. And all we're going to do now is just put them back on the heat mat like that, put the lid on, which also has a little vent on in case it gets a bit too hot, and sit back and wait for the magic to happen, folks. These little kits are available on our website. Check them out from B. Vasili, Maresi, vasilisgarden.com.